Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the second day of the webinar on cybersecurity 2020. We truly appreciate the overwhelming response that you have given us. The first day of the webinar has received over 1,400 views on YouTube. Thank you for the interest that you have shown in this webinar and the tremendous response that you have given. Those who have missed the first day of the webinar can watch it on the YouTube channel of Nirmala Institute of Education. We will upload the link to that channel in the YouTube chat box and also in the Telegram group that is created for this webinar. We are also planning to have webinar 2.0 on cybersecurity very shortly. So you can continue to remain in the cybersecurity webinar Telegram group for further updates. Now, those who felt that their queries were not answered yesterday may post them in the YouTube chat box today. We will also upload the link to the feedback form in the YouTube chat box. It is mandatory to fill the feedback form to receive your participation certificates. Thank you once again for joining us. Now, I hand over the session to the resource person, Mr. Jayesh Kumar, who is the Senior Trainee Support Engineer at OPSPL. Over to you, Mr. Kumar, and thank you for joining us.
Hello guys, good afternoon everyone. So this is the day 2. So yesterday we were talking about cybersecurity. It was the introduction to cybersecurity. So we'll start by this thing. Okay guys, so you can see this is a live cyber threat map. Okay, the attacks which are going currently on all over the world. So you can see how we are getting attacks from US to Germany, Turkey to Turkey, Germany to Belarus to India. Okay, so this is the live side. If you want to go
Mr.
in,
Jayesh, if you could excuse us, can you please change your screen?
okay. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this is the live cyber threat map over here. Okay, so you can see how the attacks are coming, and we are getting to India, we are getting to Bhutan. So this is how you can see how the attacks are going on, and this all attacks is filtered by the antivirus with what you use. Okay. So yeah, so let's get back to the PowerPoint slide. Okay, so we'll start with the topic of hacker. So what is a hacker? A hacker is someone who use unauthentication access for your system or your device. Okay, so a hacker doesn't need your password. What he needs is he will use his tools, he will use his codes and all to bypass your authentication system. Okay, so there are basically 3 types of hacker. There is a white hat hacker, there is a black hat hacker, and there is a gray hat hacker. As you can know, the white hat hacker are those person which we hire for our security purposes. Okay, in the company we hire them. What they do is they will try to break in our system, and they will at the later they will patch itself. Okay, they will patch the security updates and everything. They will put firewalls, they will build a strong security system that will help us or help our infrastructure in terms of security concerns. Whereas black hat hackers are those who violates the computer security without your authentication. They will use their they will use that for their personal gain or just for fun. Whereas gray hat hackers, they are the type of black and white. Okay, so what they will do, they will simply surf the internet. They will hack everything they have or everything they will find. And what they will do, they will directly notify the administrator or the security officer or anyone of the company. And in return, they will get some fees, what they need. So yesterday we were talking about the attacks, the common attacks, what we usually face. So we were trying that yesterday. I was going to show you how we do the phishing attacks. So let's see today how we can do that. Okay, guys. So as you can see, this is a real Facebook account, and this is also a Facebook account. So can you guys tell me which is the real one and which is not? Exactly, the both of them looks like a same. Okay, so yesterday I told you that whenever you are going to your websites and all, just always check whether you have the security SSL certificate available. Okay, so okay, let's do one thing. We will put one username. Suppose we will put Sujay Nayak and we'll put his password. Okay, so what happens when you are using a phishing page? Okay, so what the hacker will do, he will put his code into his page. Okay, and when you go for the login, okay, so automatically he will get a mail on his drive or on his Gmail drive. So here I have made a simple code. So you can see over here. This is the email what I have written over here, and this is the password what I have given to them. So with the basic simple code, I can create this thing, and you can see the page looks as same as the original one. You can see over here, page looks similar to that. So when we say how to be safe from this type of attacks, so what we have to do to protect ourselves, the first thing is we have to verify the target SSL credentials, the certificate which I have shown you. Watch out for shortened links. Okay, so what you can do is just check whether the link is getting short or they have used some different links. Suspect grammar and punctuations. Yeah, if it is a facebook.com, just check whether it is exactly a facebook.com. There is no extra O or extra K, or there is a spelling mistake in that. If they are asking for information, personal information like your credit cards number or banking number or your Aadhaar card number or anything, just don't provide them. Offer a large financial rewards. Yeah, most of the guys, they always fell for this trap. The people will tell, or the website will tell that put your 100 rupees and you will get 1,000 rupees in extra, or just like what they do in share markets. So there are fake share markets or fake mutual funds accounts are there online. So guys, just be aware of that. And the last one is beware of pop-ups. Yeah, pop-ups, you will get pop-ups everywhere now, in the YouTube, in the Facebook, on Instagram, everywhere now there are pop-ups. So just be careful, because when you click on the pop-ups, it will redirect you to some different page. Maybe you have experienced when you are using your Google Chrome or any app on your mobile. What it will do is it will directly pop up a message that your mobile needs a system cleaning, your mobile is too slow, or you have detected a virus. And what you do, you click on that pop-up and it will take you to a different app. Then thinking that it is really a virus, you will download that app and you will scan it or anything. So what it will do is it will create a malware in your phone, and all your data is gone. Yeah. Okay, so yesterday we were talking about deep web and dark web. So what is deep web actually? As you can see, the deep web is the surface web. What we are actually using it on Google, on Wikipedia, on Bing or YouTube. Whatever you can see, whatever you can find on Google, they are the surface web. What is the deep web? Deep web are all the records which we can't see. For that, you have a specific URL or specific person can access it. For example, medical records, legal documents, scientific reports, competitor websites, organization specific repositories, government resources, final records, and anything like we can say like for example, what we can say, yeah, for example, we can say the records of your students, of your own students. I can't come and access your records of your students, right? So this is all comes in the deep web. And what is the dark web? Dark web is even deeper than the deep web. This means that in order to access one of these page, you need to either know their exact addresses. Okay, so you have to download a specific type of browser that is called a Tor browser. So you have to download that browser and then you have to uh, go to the website and you have to go to the exact website. There is no search engine like Google or Yahoo search. You have to know the exact URL. You have to go there and you have to type it. Okay, so it is the dark web. It is basically all the illegal activities and all the illegal services are available on that. Okay, you can buy a gun, you can buy drugs, you can sell drugs, you can do all the illegal activities over there. But basically, the dark web was a good idea. It was created by a US Army and they wanted to use it for only the military purpose to transfer the files, to transfer all the data so that it will not come to the public. But later on, what they did, they made dark web available publicly. So now they are doing it for all the illegal activities because in the dark web you can't, what you can say, you can't trace or you can't access anyone's IP address or a IP address that easily. Yeah, see, as you can see over here, there is a drug trafficking, private communication, political protests, illegal information, Tor encrypted sites. You can see everything in dark web. As I was doing my security practice, so during that time, what I was doing is I was searching for a code, and that was a ransom code. So someone told me that there is a ransom code available on the dark web. So yeah, I went there. I was started browsing it, and I was searching for it, and I ended up with a short documentation, and the documentation was how to join Al Qaeda. So you can see that the dark web is not a place for a normal guys. If you don't have any what you can say any experience or anything, if you don't have enough computer security knowledge, then please don't go to there. Yeah. Phishing. What is phishing? Yesterday I told you this thing that it is a fraudulent attempt, usually made through email or to steal your personal information. Phishing is the attempt to obtain sensitive information such as usernames and passwords. Why it is like this? Okay. Okay, yeah. So phishing is an attempt to obtain a sensitive information such as usernames and passwords and credit card details. Okay. So this is the same thing what I've showed you on the Facebook page, like how they do, like how I simply put my small code into it and I can steal someone's data. Okay, now let's go to password cracking. Yeah, the password attacks are the most commonly used techniques that the hacker use. What they will do is they will try to guess your password. Okay, when you yourself you know that how strong you use your password. Yeah, just let me show you a small example of this. See, this is online site. How secure is my password? So if I write my own name, that is Jayesh. So see, this is it will take only 7 milliseconds to break this password. And if I add some numbers between it, so it will take a whole 1 day. So you can see how easy it is to break a password, to guess a password. There are different attacks available. They are such as dictionary attacks are there, or the simple guessing game. What we do is we provide more information on social networking sites. Okay, we will give our birth date, we'll give our name, and some people what they will do, they will even post all the best friend names, all their family birthdays and everything. So
Okay.
as a
Jayesh, would you like the participants to go online and check this at the same time while you're doing it?
yeah, you can go and check this thing.
Maybe you can guide them for 1 or 2 minutes regarding that.
Yeah, sure. This is the URL over here. You can directly go on howsecureismypassword.net. Just go there and check what is the status of your current password. How much long time it will take to decode your password.
I feel that time should be enough. Jayesh, you can start. You can continue with it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So what we should do to secure our password? We should always use a strong password. As you have seen how the link was so small, it was coming like 7 milliseconds. Okay. What you have to do, you have to use all the different types of alphabets, numerics, small letter, capital letters, special characters, everything. Okay. And change your password time to time, guys. Yeah. What we'll do, we will write somewhere, okay, or we will go and log in into some device, the unknown device, or your maybe your friend's device, and he's no more your friend. Now he's turned into your enemy. So he can directly go, he can read all your messages and everything. So just change your password time to time. Okay. Avoid using obvious personal information. See, as I told you that we as a person, we forget passwords. Okay, we forget strong passwords. So what we will do, we will use our name or my mother name or father name or my birth dates or my mobile numbers. So don't use such information. Okay, use something different. Make your password long. Okay, you can write anything in your password, guys. You can mix it. You can do anything you want. Just make sure that it is as strong as it is. Make sure your password is a nonsense phrase. Yeah, exactly. uh, just try to think your password that does not make sense. Okay, so what happens is when I talk about a dictionary attack, so what happens is the dictionary, in the dictionary the hacker will provide all the possible words. Okay, the mixture, the combination of all the words that make sense, right? Okay, so what you have to do, just type anything and try to remember that thing, otherwise you will get locked. Okay, so this thing, the email spoofing. Email spoofing refers to sending an email that looks like it's sent from someone it's not. Okay, so you, as you always get emails, okay, you will get from banking loans, or you will get from jobs related and everything. Okay, so someone will send you an email that yeah, you have won a lottery, and then what you will do, you will go to that link, you will give your all passwords and all. Okay, so this is how the simple basic steps are there, what you have to take care of. So what we will do is we will try to do one fake email on, I will send it to myself. Okay, so what we will do is, this is the site, okay guys, mkey.cz. You can send the fake mails to your teachers, or you can send it to your brother anywhere. Okay, so what we will do, we will, from name we will put it Indian Army. We'll do Indian Army at placements.com. Okay, so here I will give my own email address. Subject: congrats, you have been selected. I'll write a nice mail over here. You have
Excuse me, Mr. Jesh, we cannot see your screen. What
oh
you are
my
typing?
god, yeah, okay, sure. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, so this is the website what I'm using over here. Okay, so I'm going to send a small mail to myself. Okay, so over here I have written a name, that is Indian Army, and this is the email from where I will get a email. This is my email ID, subject, and you have been selected from Indian Army. You can join from today. Yeah, so what we will do, we will send this mail. Okay, so it was not sent. Okay, email sent successfully. Let's go and check on my mail then. Okay, didn't received my mail yet. I think it should not take this much long. Oh yes, oh yes, guys. The mail I didn't receive is because I am in my office right now, and this is the most useful, what you can say, a most beneficial thing of having a firewalls on your office installed. See, just a small mail also can't bypass a firewall. This is the good example of cybersecurity. Yes. Okay, so what I'll do, I will try to send the same mail from my phone now. Okay, let's see if I can get the message from my phone. Okay, you are selected for Indian Army. I always wanted to be an Indian Army. That's why. Hey, Jayesh, you are selected, and you can join today. Okay, so I think it should come. Yes, you can see over here, guys. I received this mail. Okay, and over here it is written, yeah, Indian Army. Over here it is written the Indian Army at gmail.com. Whatever you want, you can send. Okay, this is the message what I have written. Okay, so this is not a free, or not a free means this is a free website. That's why this error is coming. Okay, so this is just for the educational purpose, guys. You can't go and use this thing. And I will also warn you about this thing is according to Indian cyber law. Okay, if you are found anything that you are doing illegal, then you will get imprisonment for up to 3 years and 1 lakh rupees fine. So don't go and try this thing, guys. You can try, yeah, you can obviously try it for the fun, but yeah, don't do it in something that will make you in trouble, guys. Okay, so what we will do to avoid email spoofing? So what you can do is you just have to see, okay, that you don't fall for this stupid kind of what offers and all. Okay, you will get offers like, yeah, uh, chaddi pe gaddi free or something like that. So don't go and click on that type of links. Okay, keylogger. Yesterday I also talked about keylogger. Keylogger is sometimes it is called as keystroke logger or a system monitor. So what it will basically do is it will save all your keystrokes that you have entered, that you have typed on your obviously on your keyboard. Yeah. So what it will do is it will record all the logs. Okay, and it will send it to online. Or you can what you can do is you can directly download a keylogger and use it. So I have one small keylogger over here installed. Yes. So what I will do is let's go to yahoo.com. We'll try to log in over here. Okay, so we'll go to sign in and we'll try to log in. Okay, we'll put my password. Okay, obviously it is an invalid password, guys, because I don't have any account in Yahoo. So yeah, you can see it is I have installed a fee keylogger. Okay, whenever you are going to your friend's place or maybe at cyber cafe, we don't know, we don't pay attention to these small little things. Okay, so maybe they have installed a keylogger or something like that, so your password is totally compromised, as you can see over here. See, okay, replacements, whatever I have typed till now, everything was recorded. And this thing, why the Yahoo did came? Settings. One, ये जाएगा. Okay, okay, you do that thing. Just wait a second, guys. Okay, yeah, guys. So you can directly you can install this keylogger and you can see by yourself. And I'm really sorry, guys, because we have lost our electricity over here. So I think they are turning off all the UPS. Excuse me, Mr. Clinton. Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Jayesh.
Yeah, actually over here our electricity is gone.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Your voice is clear. We can hear you properly. The beeping
Yeah,
sound, I think so it's of the UPS. So,
yeah,
okay,
it's
carry
of
on.
UPS. No, because
Yeah.
actually all the internet and everything, no, the whole power is on UPS itself.
Okay, you carry on, Mr. Jayesh. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna turn off. Yeah, just wait a sec. Okay, guys, I will turn on my hotspot and try. Just give him a second, guys. I'm trying to connect it from my mobile hotspot. Okay. Yeah, hi guys. Sorry for the disturbance because the current over at my office is gone. So yeah, let it be then. So we were on the keylogger settings. You can hear me, right, guys? Okay. So what I was telling you, yeah, I was checking the settings of these things. Option must be something because this one. Okay, so basically what I was telling you is just beware of the keyloggers, guys. Okay, so I was trying to do this thing on Facebook and account google.com and everywhere. So this is what the username and password I have typed over there. So it all got stored directly in the Google Chrome. Okay, you can directly install this keylogger from over here from the Chrome web store. The name of the keylogger is FIA keylogger, and you can also do this for your own security purpose. Okay, suppose if you are using someone else, if someone else is using your laptop or anything like that, so you can see what they are browsing at. Okay, you can use this to monitor your children also. Okay, or your students, what they are doing, what they are browsing when you are not around. Yeah, so it is a type of a good security practice and also bad. That depends on how you're using it, guys. Okay. So where I was, keylogger. Okay, so yes. Okay, guys. So our next topic is mobile hacking. Okay. So what is a mobile hacking? As yesterday also I told you guys that don't install what you can say, yeah, don't install apps from the fake app stores. Okay, don't install directly from Google Store, as from Chrome. Okay, from any browser. Okay, if the app is paid version, then you are getting it for free. I know it will save a lot of money, but with the free app, guys, you will get a free virus also. So what it will do, okay, and done by uninstall.
Mr. Jayesh?
Hello.
Yes, yes. I think so. There are some network issues. You are good to go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was talking about mobile hacking. Yeah. So yesterday, as I
Can you
told
please
you.
share your screen again? Excuse me, Jayesh. Can you please
Yeah.
share your
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. So yesterday I was talking about mobile hacking. Okay. So I was telling you guys that please don't go and install all the unknown apps. Okay. Don't install apps from the free websites and all. Okay, just go and install the apps from the Google Play Store. Okay, and don't click on unknown links, like I've shown you in my previous example, that how a free I can use a free online tool and I can send an email from Indian Army, guys. Yeah, so it is accessible to everyone. So what you have to do is you have to take care of yourself. Okay, you have to be sure that what you are downloading and from where you are downloading is the site is safe. And if it's safe, then I've showed you all the ways that how to make sure that the site is safe and it is a verified one. Okay, so what I will do over here is Mr. Clifton is over here. Okay, so I will try to send some different kind of SMSs. Okay, so Mr. Clifton, you're there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what you can do is I will try to hack your phone. Okay, for right now, so we can students that what is going on with you right now.
Yes.
Yeah, because I can't show everyone that how to do it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so what I will do is I think it should okay. Okay, so Mr. Clifton, I think it should start what I'm planning to do over here.
Yes. I've been starting getting codes on my phone from different addresses. That is Redbus, one OTT, and all the other text. So the text is saying the following password is valid for next 15 minutes. So OTP has been forwarded to my uh, mobile without
Okay.
doing anything.
Okay, so do you want to share your OTP with me, Mr. Clifton?
Yeah, I can share your one OTP. So I'll be sharing OTP for Redbus.
No, this is
Yeah,
what yeah,
yeah.
this
I'll
is
just
what I'm trying to explain you, sir. So
yeah.
that you don't have to share your OTP with someone.
No,
Okay.
I won't be sharing OTP. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, a simple mobile trick. Okay, guys, I can directly get from his Redbus or his Swiggy delivery or Flipkart or anything like that. Okay, so I can get access. Okay, I can get access
So
to his ATM accounts. Okay, I can directly book my ticket for Redbus.
from
So
yeah. So
yeah,
Mr. Jayesh, so if I share the participants, so if I share my Netflix OTP, so Mr. Jayesh, the hacker,
yeah.
will get the access to my Netflix. So if I share my Redbus password, so the hacker will get access to my Redbus account.
So what he can do, he can do much more than that. Okay, he can directly book his own ticket for his own good. Okay,
Yes.
we have to think a bigger picture over here. Okay, so just think, if I am sharing my Amazon account. Okay, so what we basically do to try to save our time, what we will do, we will just save our ATM card over that. Okay, we will share our CV. Only CVV we have to write, right?
Yes.
So if, yeah, so you can directly do that thing. I have already gained your mobile access. I have already gained your Netflix account or WhatsApp account or anything like that. So I can do much more than that. So this is
Yes.
I wanted, yeah, this is what I wanted to show that uh, how serious this thing is. Okay, I'm sitting somewhere in Verna and I can directly access your phone. I can directly send OTPs. I can do everything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So Mr. Jayesh, how this can be avoided? Can you please throw more light on it?
Okay, so what basically you can do is you can use a automate blocker. Okay, or what you can do is, as I told you, okay, that please don't install any unnecessary apps or any free apps or any pirated version of the apps. Okay, just do it. Just install only from the, what you can say, uh, Play Store or the registered app centers. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, you can ask me any questions if you have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Participants are requested to post their questions on the YouTube chat box, so we can ask Mr. Jayesh. Yes. Mr. Jayesh, the first question from Mr. Pratham, I think so. He had asked the question yesterday also.
Yeah.
Uh, how safe is routing of the phone?
Okay. See, guys,
So,
the routing of the phone is the most, you can say, unsecure way. Okay. So what does a routing does? Okay. First, you have to understand that thing. Okay. What you are doing is you are taking all the permissions. Okay. You are taking out all the permissions and you are giving it to your mobile. Okay. So suppose right now your mobile is asking you, okay, that whether to give permission to your contacts, whether to give permission to your camera. Okay, whenever you are installing an app, okay, so at least now your phone is asking you, okay. So what, when you root your phone, what it will do, uh, phone is now in the admin mode. Okay, it will never ask you anything. Okay, if a app says that I want your location, the phone will directly give his location. Okay, if app says okay, send me the message, so app will directly send the message. Okay, so when your phone is rooted, okay guys, it is in the most vulnerable stage. Okay, because it will do whatever the apps tell. Okay, so what you have to
yeah,
do is, yeah, if you want to root your phone, then do it on your backup mobile. Okay, don't root your personal phone in which your all the important data and all important contacts or everything is there. Okay, if you want to root your device, then just do it on your backup phone and make sure that you don't use it for your personal purpose.
yeah. Mr. Jayesh, on the topic of routing only, our participants wants to know what is routing. So many of them, they don't have knowledge about routing.
Okay, see, what we do is, sorry, no. Yeah. So what is routing? So what it is, what we do is what we do is for our mobile, okay, to give it the permission of an administrator level. Okay, normally people do it to play games. Okay, to meet the full requirement, all the full use the full CPU usage of the phone for the, maybe it is for the gaming purpose or maybe to utilize the full CPU. Okay, so what they will do, they will root the device. Okay, to use the 100% utilization of the CPU. Or otherwise, you can do settings. You can change the settings of your phone. You can install different themes. You can install Samsung S10 mod or Samsung S10 operating system in your MI phone, or you can do stuffs like that. Okay, by hearing that you will think that, oh, you can do such a cool stuff. Okay, you can put your what you would Mac OS or my Mac OS, what, yeah, you can install that also in your phone. Okay, in your MI phone or your Redmi phone or anything like that. But I will tell you that it is not a recommended thing. Only if you have a backup phone, then you can go and try these things out. Otherwise, please don't do it. And also, it will void your warranty. So just think about it before doing it. Yeah.
So that must have answered the question. Yeah. The next question is regarding the website which you have used to check the strength of the password. How safe are they?
To check the.
you have used one website in your presentation to check the
Okay.
strength of the password. How safe are they? Or will they store the data?
No, this is not storing the data. As you can see, this is it will take directly because it is running on the JavaScript. Okay, so it will just check the complexity of the password, or the complexity how the password is, or how what are the text files used, or what are the text characters are used. Okay, so it is basically running a JavaScript. It is the same like what I was doing with my Facebook fake login page, what I've created and I showed you all guys. It is same like that. So yeah, it is not, it will not store your password. But if you still think that this will store my password, then you can make changes after it is uh, what you can say, when it is the strong password or anything like that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jesh. Next question asked by most of the participants is, how do I know when my phone is hacked?
Okay, so what you can do is, guys, see
Uh,
if it is already,
excuse me, just interruption.
yeah.
So I'll add on to that question, how I know whether my phone or my email ID has been hacked. So if you can show a demo about it, it will be great.
Okay, so you can see my screen, right?
Yes, we can
Yeah.
see your screen.
Yeah. Okay. So here I have one link over here. Okay. So it is, have I been pawned? Okay. So what it will do is it will check your data. Okay. So if it is been compromised. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to put your email ID. Okay. And as you know that to do anything, okay, to log in into to a different website. Okay, so what we basically do is, instead of creating a new, is we will directly sign in with a Gmail account. Okay, so here are more than 900 or 500 companies are there. Okay, the major websites. Okay, so you have to go put in your email ID, so it will say you, okay, whether that company is hacked or not. Okay, so just um, for an example, okay, when you are signing up for a Zomato or a Swiggy app, what you are providing to them? You are providing your full name, okay, you are providing your birth date, you are providing your address, you are providing your credit card details. Okay, guys, this is enough. Okay, this is this much. This information is enough to take the money out of your bank. Okay, so okay, so there were 5 breach sites. Okay, from this, from my this particular account. So it was all these 3 sites: the Lumin PDF, the Zomato. I think Zomato, yeah, Zomato account was also hacked in May 2017. Okay, this is the Wattpad. This is the latest one, I think. Yeah. Okay, so if you are using on your Android phone or any phone and you think that your account is been hacked, so what you can do is you can just go to your task logs. Okay, in my phone I will can tell you, you have to go to your settings, then go to apps, apps. Yeah, you can go and you can go to check your app settings. Okay, so you have to check first whether there is some app, okay, which you don't know and it is installed by himself. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to first go and you have to force stop it, guys. Okay, it will not directly uninstall. You have to force stop it, or you have to disable that app, and then only you can go and uninstall it. There is one more thing, and only the newer version of the mobile they support it. It is like how we can use the taskbar, or what you can say, the, yeah, the taskbar only. So you can get that option in your phone. If you are getting it, then you can go and directly check all the what are the background processes or what are the apps that are running in your background. Okay, so if you find anything suspicious apps, okay, that is running without your consent, just go and stop that process and try to uninstall it. Okay, and the best way is to directly factory reset the phone. Yes.
Yes. The next question: how are all apps on Google Play Store safe? If not, how will it recognize the fake apps?
Yeah, on when you're talking about Google Play Store, okay, so I think between in late 2015 to 2017, it was a time where lots of apps were found with the malicious apps were found. So after that, the Google has tightened their more security related to their apps creators and all. Okay. Yeah. For example, my own company, we make Android apps and we make iOS apps. So if there is a little bit of mistakes, okay, even if there is a code mistake, even if there is a error or anything, so what they will do is they will directly uh, delete that app, okay, from the Play Store, and they will send us a mail. So they will tell us that this is the issue with your app, so you have to work on it, or otherwise your account will be banned. So this is what they do. So in terms of security, the Google and also the Apple Play Store, they are very much strict right now. So you can't upload any app, okay, not as a freelancer also, you can't go and upload any app on Google Play Store. But yeah, if there is a local Play Store or anything like that, for example, I think there is one appmarket.com or something like 4kmarket.com. So there is something, one website is there. So I was trying to download one of the mod version of a game, okay, to play for myself, because I don't have time to collect all the coins and all. So what I do, I will directly install a mod version and I will play for myself for some time, and yeah, then I will uninstall it. So what we have to look over here is what permissions you are giving. Okay, if you are downloading, if you are installing it from an unknown source, okay, so don't give permission that is not required for a game. For a game, what you will require is maybe a storage or maybe a sound or anything. Okay, just don't give permission for your camera, for your messages, for your contacts. Just look at that you are not providing any extra permissions. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Uh, the question next is related to that. As is downloading APK safe?
APK is from where you want to download it.
From
Downloading the
the
APK.
if from websites?
See, like now I told you, okay, whenever you are downloading from the website, okay, it's usually okay. What you can say is it's not 100% of the time that they will come with the malware, okay, but you have to be safe, or otherwise you have to take precautions. Okay, if you know what you are doing, okay, if you know how like I told you, okay, whether if something is, if some app is running in your background, okay, if you know how to check and all that, okay, if you can what you can do, if you can restrict it from using it to online, so yeah, you can go and you can download it. But mostly I will prefer say to don't use that things. Okay, if you know, then yeah, it's good, it's quite good a lot. Okay, you can use that app, but otherwise I don't think that you should install any apps for, like that.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. Next question is related to the keylogger. When we
Okay.
delete the cookies and history from the browser, will it delete the keylogger list?
Yeah, it will delete it. This is just a small example, okay, what I have installed it on my PC, because according to my company's law, we can't install a keylogger over here because it is against all the violations. So this is just for you guys to show you how the keylogger works, because you can see over here on my screen that my I have disabled my what you can say my antivirus, because it was not allowing me to install a keylogger also. So yeah, the keylogger can be of different types. Okay, it can be a software version or it can be a hardware version. The hardware version is like, it looks like a pen drive. What they do is they will directly connect it to your pen drive, to your mobile or to your laptop or to your computer. So what it will do, all the cache memory or all the cookies memory, okay. And I think in Windows system there is a folder called SAM. Okay, so what this SAM folder does is it will store the password of your laptop. So what it will do, it will take that folder also, and the files inside that, and automatically it will store all the information in that pen drive. Okay, so when I take that thing out and I will go and browse somewhere else, so I have all the passwords and everything. So yeah, if you clear the cache memory, and yeah, then that is okay, that is a great thing. You have to take care because you have to install a antivirus. It is the best thing, guys. You have to install a paid antivirus. So what you will do, you have to create a policy. Okay, just installing an antivirus, what they will do is they will have a basic default settings. What you have to do, you have to look through the manual, and you have to check how to create a policy, how to create a new policies. Okay, so suppose if someone comes and enters pen drive, so it will ask for a password. Okay, that whether the pen drive should be open or not. Otherwise, what you will in some policies, what it is, whenever you connect a pen drive, then it will directly automatically start the scanning thing. What you can do, you can actually create a manual settings or something like that. You will get that on online if you go to buy an antivirus. Yeah.
Uh, the next question: what is cloud storage and how safe it is?
Yeah, cloud storage. Yeah, so it depends from which services you are using, guys. Okay, if it is a third party or a local cloud storage, okay, Google Drive and the AWS, okay, now, and also the Dells and all are there, but these two are the biggest competitors now. Okay, so it is the safest thing to do, but you have to take all the what you can say, all the preventions what I have told you right now. Okay, that keep your password safe, keep this safe, and don't use a small password, or don't download or don't install any small apps which is uh, not installed, means which is not registered one. Okay, I will tell you one story of my own colleague over here. So what happened over here is she had that Fitbit app, I think, but it was not of the I think it's a China Fitbit, but I don't know, a cheap one. So she installed that app, okay, and she was using it for now 3 4 days, sorry, 3 4 months now. Okay, so suddenly what happened is at night it used to go completely haywire. Okay, at exactly at 11:30 her mobile used to do something crazy things. Okay, you can't believe it. So it was still going on for 2 3 days. Okay, from 11:30 to around 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, she can't use her phone even if she restarted or anything like that. Okay, so yeah, and after that she came to us and she told us like that she is facing this kind of things at exactly at 11:30. So this was the first time when I saw with my own eyes that how the malware apps or anything like that works. Okay, so what we did, we just shifted the time, changed the time to around 11:29 or 11:28, something like that, and we waited to see what happens. And time it was 11:30, her entire screen was gone, like a double screen, and everything was there. You can't access anything, you can't touch, you can't restart it also. Somehow we restarted it. And I was going through all the background processes. I was checking all the background processes. So this was the different kind of app. Okay, so it was written in Chinese also, or I don't know what was what that language was, but yeah. And as soon as I uninstalled it and I checked again, so that time it was working fine. So as you can see, the malware apps or the infected apps, what they will do is they will not create directly. Okay, so what they will wait for some time, and as the app got update or anything, it will directly start crashing your phone, or it will slow down your phone or anything like that. Yeah.
The next question. Our participants want you to throw light on the web browsers. Are all web browsers safe? So the Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Aloha, UC browser, Mozilla, Opera, and Safari. Are all these web browsers safe, or which you rank based upon the safety?
See
So I'll
all
repeat
this.
the web
Yeah,
browsers again. Google Chrome,
yeah.
Internet Explorer, Aloha, UC browser, Mozilla, Opera, Safari, and he also wants to ask how to avoid cookies while using browsing on internet.
See what happens is you can't avoid cookies, okay? Because now what we do is we provide cookies, okay? We want cookies because it will help to faster our web browsing experience. Okay, so what over here also what we do is we try to make cookies as small as possible, because what it will do is the user will get used to it. Okay, we all want a faster internet connection. Okay, so in that the cookies plays the important role, but it also stores some of the data. Okay, it will store some of the data in your browser. So what happened over here is, if you want to completely uninstall it, or if you don't want to, if you directly want to disable it, I think there is an option in Google Chrome to completely disable the cookies, but it will affect your user interface. Okay, so it is not mandatory, but what you can do is you can time to time you can go and delete all the cookies and all the data like that, all the cache memory what you say. Okay, and about the browser, look guys, this all the cyber security things are
Yeah,
interconnected. Okay, with the
yeah.
right
Excuse me.
knowledge.
I'll just
Yeah,
Yeah. Excuse me, Jay. I'll just add one more thing to it
yeah,
about the browser only. Participants want to ask also the Tor browser, that is Tor browser. Is it
yeah,
safe or is it illegal? So along with the other browser, if you could throw
yeah, yeah,
light
sure.
on this also.
See the Tor browser, well, as I told you, okay, it is one of the most safest and one of the most dangerous browser. Okay, so what you can do, you can stay anonymous on the Tor browser. Okay, no one can track you, and they know, and that is only because if you are doing a right stuff. Okay, if you are going for a bad stuff, obviously you will get caught. Okay, what they will use the IP spoofing. Okay, so what they will do is they will directly change your IP address, okay, to some other country or some other area or anything like that. Okay, but if you are caught in some action, okay, so you obviously all your data is going through going from your ISP only. Okay, so they know, okay, that what you are surfing and everything, because before joining in this company I was working in ISP company. Okay, and I could literally see what the people are watching. So then later what they did is they stopped, the government came and they uh, gave some rules and regulations. So because of that, we ISP people can't see. So yeah, Tor browser is good, okay, but you have to make sure that for what purpose you are using it. If you are using a Google or Facebook, also it is okay with that, but make sure that you don't go to the deep web or the dark web part of it. Yeah,
regarding browsers, which is
Yeah. So what I was telling is the whole cyber security things. Okay, guys, this is all interconnected. Okay, if you have enough information, okay, if you are following all the safety precautions, okay, what you are taking, okay, then browser you can use any browser, guys. You can use even a Chinese browser also, because what the browser does is they will not send your data to someone else. Okay, what it can do is it can only capture it and it can keep it with his own self. Okay, so if you want you can use anyone, and there is I think now a different browser is came. Okay, it claims to be faster than Google Chrome. You can go and check that out. Yeah, just make sure that you are using all the simple or the all what you can say or the basic cybersecurity practices. Okay.
yeah. If I'm getting calls from an unknown number which
Yeah.
can't be rejected, what should be done? Regarding that also, in relation to that, is it possible to know the name of the person sending fake messages? Is
No,
it
it's
or is it
no.
possible? Yes, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, you can say.
yeah. Is it also possible to track the person who is sending fake messages?
Yeah, exactly. You can obviously track the person. Okay, because see what happens is every device that is getting connected to internet. Okay, it will have a public IP address. Okay, as you can come over here and if I go and type IP. Oh shit, it's wrong side. Yeah, you can see over here every system over here. Okay, every device that is getting connected to internet. Okay, it will have a different a unique IP address. Okay, so what you can do is with the IP address that whenever I'm sending a message to someone, okay, if to anyone, if any guy or anything, okay, so it gets logged. Okay, somewhere or the other it gets logged. Okay, so if suppose I have sent a message to one of my friend, so I'm communicating to his device. Okay, so what happens is the IP address of my device and his device. Okay, what you can say source and destination. This is how we know. Okay, so that's why police can easily catch. Okay, if someone is using a fake account or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, since we have gone online, many of them have questions regarding the UPI payments apps, that is Phone Pay, Google Pay. I think so. You have already explained it yesterday, but
Yeah.
today also, if you can explain it briefly,
Yeah.
how safe
No.
are UPI payments?
See, as you can see, okay, that this is not UPI. The Beam UPI is, I think it is, what you can say, registered with the RBI of our India. Okay, but the Google Pay and that the rest, I don't think, because what happens is, if you go for online payments and all, okay, if suppose your money is get stuck, okay, then I don't think that Google Pay will send you back the money, okay, because it is not the part of RBI, okay. So you have to understand that thing first, okay. If you are using it for a small purpose like 10, 20 rupees, okay, if 100 rupees or anything like that, then you can go and use that thing, because this is the time where we are promoting the digital or the cash money, digital cash and all, okay. But if you are doing for a transaction for 1,000 or something bigger amount, okay, then don't go for apps and all, okay. You can directly go for the net banking, guys. Net banking is the safest way, even if your money is not gone, or if it's not transferred, the money will be with the RBI, or with the sorry RBI, the money will be with the bank, okay. So you what you can do is you can go and contact your bank, and they will also know that the money is somewhere within our own company, okay. So it is the safest way is the net banking, okay. If you are going for a transaction of a bigger amount or the higher amount, don't use this type of payments.
Uh, this is a very important question. What steps should be taken after we know that our account or apps has been hacked? So this many questions are asked on this, like if our Facebook is hacked, if our phone is hacked, what are the simple steps which we should take?
Okay, so it is good thing. Okay, it is a good practice that uh, before what I want you all to do is today just go to your Google settings. Okay, just enable two things. Okay, that is one is a two-step authentication and go and change your password. I think you have learned enough now, and you can stay safe today. Okay, so do the same thing with the Facebook also, with the Instagram also, with everything. Okay, just go and change all your password, make a strong password, guys. Okay, go for the double authentication. Okay, it's okay. Okay, that it's taking time, it's taking a longer time to sign in your Windows or in your Facebook account or any other accounts. Okay, but security is important, guys. Your all your accounts, all your data, all your personal conversations with anyone, everything is important. So what you have to do is you have just do this basic steps. Okay, and what you have to do is, if suppose you are hacked, if you someone else is accessing your account. Okay, so what you have to do that uh, I think you must have already enrolled your mobile number or connected your phone number to it. Okay, so directly first you go um, log in. Okay, do the forget password or anything, the OTP will come to your message, on your phone. Log into that, and first thing is to change the password and see. Okay, just check whether there is uh, any what you can say security changes have done. Okay, so in the security policies. Okay, just go and check it whether the number is clear, is all right. Okay, whether the recovery email address, okay, if he has changed that also. Because what happens is, if a hacker comes, okay, if they hack account, they will edit some of the basic security settings. Okay, so even if you again if you what you can say change the password, they can again retrieve that password, and they can log into it again. Okay, so just make sure that these are the basic steps what you do.
Yeah. So you mean to say the basic steps is first changing timely passwords, setting up of strong passwords,
Yeah,
and checking up all the security settings.
yeah,
And yeah, so this, I hope this answers the question. The next question: by just opening emails and SMSs, can hacker get our details?
yeah, they can directly get your detail, because the URL is like that. Okay, that before that some one of the guy he asked the question about cache memory and the cookies, right? So this question is related to that only. Okay, when you are sending a URL, okay, so what it is basically a permission. Okay, it's kind of a permission, and when you click it, okay, then you are allowing it. Okay, so what this URL will do, they will directly transfer all the cache memory, okay, to the IP that is assigned to that URL. Okay, so if suppose at that time you have cache memory or anything like that, and you are simply clicking on the any URL you got online or anything, then all your cache memory will go. Okay, so even if you click the link or the photo or anything like that, all your data will go directly. So that's why we always tell that, even just check. Okay, first we have to check whether the user is verified user or not.
The next question: other than changing password, is there any way else to that we can control hacking?
Okay, other than changing a password.
I think so. Maybe installing an antivirus will do that.
Yeah, yeah, installing an antivirus means, yeah, we have covered this topic before also, that you have to
Yeah,
install a paid one. Okay, if you're
yeah.
going to App Store and you're downloading the free version of it, even if it's safe from downloading from the Play Store, but what it will do, it will take the more RAM and all, and your performance of your phone will be not that great, okay, as it was before. So yeah.
This same question had come yesterday also. Truecaller and Termur apps, is it safe? So I think so you had answered it yesterday that these apps are not safe since they take your contact details, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Jesh, I think so we have answered most of the queries. Anything else you would like to say to our participants?
Okay. I just want to say that all the, just know, okay, and try to share this knowledge to everyone else, okay, to your friends, to your families, and especially your parents, because they are the one who don't know about the latest stuff or the latest trendings that is going on. They just use the mobile phones. Okay, they will click anything, because one day my father ordered one, I don't know. He got some offer, okay, that he will get a MacBook or anything like that, okay, and he ordered and he paid 6,000 rupees, and what we get was a small tablet that was a China tablet. So please go and share this information, because yeah, this is a, in today's world, this is an important task, guys. Okay, so you have to take care of all those things. Okay, the corona is not the only enemy, guys. The digital cybersecurity and everything, yeah, this is also a greatest enemy now. Because they are telling that the third world war is going to be a cyber war. Okay, so it's a great time for us to get prepared to a small, at least a small things, okay, like this, so we are not get hacked by any country or anything like that. Yeah, that's it, guys.
Yeah. I just one more question because I think it's very important.
Yeah.
It's come at last. How safe is normally when we log into any account on a Chrome is asked
Yeah.
like, do you want us to save the password? How safe is that practice?
It is not at all safe, guys, because what you can do is, okay, if suppose it's someone else laptop, you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
I think it is in the autofill. Okay,
Yeah.
so all
Auto.
your, yeah, okay, so all your password is stored over here. See, I think in the check password. Okay, so over here I have not stored anything like that. So if suppose I am the admin of the PC, okay, so I can give anyone's password who has stored their this, what you can say, who has stored their username passwords over here. Okay, if someone else gets hand on this thing, you can only see how easy it is to go and check your password. So it's better to not to save them. Okay, if it's a small account or anything like that, then it's okay. And try to use a different password for all your different accounts. Okay, if you can't remember them all, okay, there are some apps available over on the net or on your Android store also, that will help you to remember your password. And don't think that that app is the kind of virus or it will give all your credentials. No, guys, it is the authenticated password manager. So you can install that thing and you can keep it with you all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Jesh, for your answering the queries. Now I hand over the session to Mr. Subodh Haldankar for formal vote of thanks.
Yeah, Manish.
Thank you, Mr. Jayesh Kumar, for answering all the questions so patiently and in detail. I'm sure you have cleared everyone's doubts, and none of our participants will go back with any queries in their minds. If at all there are any queries, of course, We will look at those queries in the forthcoming sessions of the cybersecurity workshops that we are planning to have. Now it is time for vote of thanks. We at Nirmala Institute of Education are happy about the success of the two-day webinar on cybersecurity 2020. Yesterday, we had more than 1,400 views on our YouTube channel. And today, we have crossed almost 500 views while we were online. Before anyone else, I would like to thank God for this success and for being with us in this journey and making it successful. Thank you, God, for your grace and blessings, without which nothing could have been achieved. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the resource person, Mr. Jayesh Kumar, who is a senior training support engineer at OTSPA. Thank you, Mr. Kumar, for sparing time from your busy schedule and sharing your expertise with our participants. We appreciate the patience that you have shown in answering their queries. This webinar would not have taken place if it was not for the constant support, motivation, and encouragement from the management. So I would like to express my gratitude to the manager of the Nirmala Education Society, Ms. Maria Fernandez, the director of Nirmala Institute of Education, Dr. Rita Pace, and the officiating principal of the college, Dr. Delia Anta. Thank you for providing all the support that was required to make this webinar successful. I would also like to congratulate the conveners of the conference and the webinar, Mr. Clifton Fernandez, Mr. Raymond Pereira, and Mr. Subodh Aldankar, for successfully organizing this webinar. Your hard work was evident at every step. Finally, I would like to thank all the participants of this webinar. The webinar would not have been possible without your presence. Thank you for your overwhelming support. Thank you and God bless you all.
Live stream. Yeah. Thank you.